I'm Niamh, a former social care worker who, after having my own children, found a calling as a childbirth educator and lactation consultant. Back when I started this journey, I faced the same challenges many of you might be experiencing right now, struggling to get enough clients to make my business viable long term. I knew in my heart that I had the skills and knowledge to make a difference, but the thought of marketing and selling left me feeling a bit uneasy. I didn't want to compromise my authenticity and values just to attract clients. I invested in trainings and mentorships, and I tried various strategies that I learned, but it often felt like I couldn't implement a lot of it because what I was being taught didn't match my values as a birth and postpartum worker. That's when I decided to take matters into my own hand. I embarked on a mission to learn, to experiment, and to find ethical and authentic ways to share my expertise, support my clients, and build a sustainable practice. Today, I'm proud to say that I run a thriving private practice, and I'm here to share my insights with all of you to help you to do the same. Join me on this journey as I help you bridge the gap between your passion for supporting new parents and the success you deserve. Together, we'll discover the power of ethical, authentic, and effective approaches, not only to make a living, but also to make a positive impact in the world of birth and postnatal care. Let's get started on this empowering journey together. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Pregnancy and Postnatal Entrepreneurs Collective podcast. Today I am joined by Crystal Bantel, better known as the Tech Fairy, and she is going to talk us through some of the things around email marketing and funnels and all of those things that might scare you a little bit. But Crystal, do you want to tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Sure, for sure. So I am your Tech Fairy, as you already said. And I love helping neurodivergent entrepreneurs specifically, and anyone that has a different non-linear way of thinking, as well as people with chronic conditions and anything that kind of affects your focus, at work if you're, running your own business, which is very different than, for people that are doing, if they're employed, in a 9-to-5 type situation, right? So, yeah, that's a little bit about me.
And we're going to talk a little bit about email marketing. And I have briefly covered email lists, let's just say, on the podcast before. But obviously you've got your expertise in this, and we're going to be able to dive a little bit deeper. But for anyone who doesn't even know what we're talking about when we say email marketing, what is it?
What is email marketing? That's my favorite question. So email marketing is, so when you have an email list, that gives you direct access to your potential clients or customers and anybody that is interested in your business. So you may have, for example, if you're in conversation with someone in person, or if you meet people online in Facebook groups, anything like that, or if you're posting on social media, for example, those are all different ways that we have visibility with people. But when you get them to subscribe to your email list, it's kind of like when you meet a new person and you ask them for their number so they can keep in touch and you can keep texting each other. It's a little bit like that, is how I look at it. So it gives you constant direct access to the people that are interested in what you are talking about and what you offer, and it allows you to keep in touch with them.
I love that analogy of it's like asking for somebody's number. It's just a really nice way to show that in everything marketing that we're doing, it is actually a relationship that we're trying to build up with people. Yeah. So why is it important to be able to communicate with people in that way?
I think that it is really important because as much as social media helps us with getting faster and broader visibility, we can't rely on social media because of the algorithm. So I don't know the exact stat, but I remember hearing it was something like 70% or so of the people that are following you right now on Instagram don't see your posts that you post when you post them. So that's a very low percentage of people. So it's like 3 to 30% of the people that said, yes, I want to follow this person and I'm very interested in what they are posting. They said, yes, I want to follow them, and then you make a post, and then they don't even see it showing up on their feed, which is really sad. It's a lot of effort that you put in, and they're not actually seeing it. So that is why having their email address is so important, because you're guaranteed that it's going out to their inbox Now, obviously, it depends on if they're opening their email that day, but you can get an average of 50% of the people that are in your email list will be opening your emails and actually reading them. And that allows you to communicate with them when you want to communicate with them on a consistent basis, and allows you to give them offers. Ultimately, you're running a business of your own, and you want to be able to make an offer to them, and they purchase from you. So that's why I think it is very important.
And if only 30% of people are seeing maybe what you post on Instagram, for example, but 50% are opening emails, that's a big extra amount of people.
Yeah, it's huge, I think. So another analogy I like using, I didn't think I was good at analogies, but today they're really coming out. But another analogy that I like using for an email list versus social media is social media. I look at it as you're living on a residential street and you're sitting out on your porch. People passing by on the sidewalk, the pedestrians walking by, that's social media. You might wave at them and yell hello. They may or may not look at you and say hello back. Some of them, so let's say 30% of them, they might pause a little, turn to you, and engage in a 2-sentence conversation with you. Now, with an email list, those are the people that do stop and they say, hey, let's be friends. You invite them, hey, let's be friends, and you end up inviting them in, and you say, hey, do you want some cookies? Let's sit down, on the couch and have a conversation, and they end up coming over, once a week to hang out because they enjoy the conversations you have. So it's a very, very different personal experience where you really are developing a personal relationship, consistency, and because they said yes when they subscribed to your email list. Whereas with social media, like I said, they're just passersby. It's very non-committal on social media. So whereas an email list, it's a much more direct connection and a much more personal relationship that you get to build with them and nurture them.
It feels a lot more personal to open an email and read it than it does, as you said, you're basically doing the scroll.
Exactly.
Pause, keep going.
Yeah, and it's less distraction because you're going to sit there and read an email. You get drawn in. It's almost like an active blog, kind of, I guess I would say, because you can go way more in depth. Whereas on a social media post, you've only got so many characters, that you can write. So you kind of are almost forced to keep it somewhat surface level, or if you dive deep, it's only a short deep dive. But in the inbox, you can write as much as you want to write to them and as much as your people want to read.
So we've talked about why people might want one a little bit, but how do you actually start an email list? Feeling stuck in your birth work business, posting non-stop, answering DMs, juggling admin, but still not getting the clients you want? It doesn't have to be this way. I've put together the Birth Workers Business Playbook, a free guide with 3 simple systems to help you get visible without spending all day online, book clients with ease, no more ghosting, streamline your admin so you can focus on what you do best. These are the exact systems I wish I had when I started, and now they're yours, totally free. Download the Birth Workers Business Playbook now and start growing your business with ease. Head to the show notes to get your link for your free copy.
Well, you start an email list by creating a freebie funnel, is what I call it. So freebie being, some people call it a lead magnet. To me, that sounds like a very kind of cold word that I always have to explain what it means. It's like a magnet to attract, people that might be leads in your business. But freebie is just a free resource, something that is a valuable thing that they might want to read. So if you think about the topic that you talk about the most in your business, so for example, in the case of, any birth workers and doulas and lactation consultants and all these different small businesses that you represent and your listeners represent, if you have a topic that you specifically talk about and an offer that you specifically give people, a service that you provide people, then if you create a free resource that is something simple and something probably surface level, would be really interested in to sign up for some kind of, maybe it's a PDF guide, a checklist, maybe it's a a checklist of, what to pack for your hospital bag or something like that. Something very simple. It's a very quick win. You provide that for free, and all you ask for in return is their name and their email address. So all you need is your free resource, and then you create a landing page, and that is the website page where people can sign up for it. And when they sign up for it, that is them giving you permission to email them. That's them giving you their number, essentially.
And then, it's funny you use that example, because my best performing freebie is my hospital bag list. It's as simple as that. It's just something that people are looking for, and it's simple, and people might think, oh, everybody's done that, but the people that I serve are looking for things like that, and if they see that I'm offering it, they go and get it.
And the same person, the same pregnant person that is signing up for your hospital bag checklist probably has signed up for 20 other hospital bag checklists. They want ideas. People, just because somebody else has one out there does not mean that you shouldn't put out yours, because yours will be unique in some type of way. And you, when you post in your social media, and when you email in your email list, when you post blogs or whatever you do to kind of share your visibility, there's a different unique angle and perspective that you give, or there's maybe your personality is just a different personality, and they will like you for who you are, and that's how you attract your people. So definitely don't be afraid of oh, this is just so, everybody's already done this, it's oversaturated. I don't really believe in oversaturation, because the world is not oversaturated with you. You are the only you that there is. So be brave and just put your thing out there. People are, they do want it. They'll want to download it, and they're going to be happy to give you their email address, and they'll be happy to receive the emails that you send out to them, which reminds me that so many people are nervous about emailing people. So they're afraid that, oh, if I send out these consistent weekly emails, they're gonna get annoyed with me or something. But the truth is, they wanted to hear from you. They are interested in the service that you offer, or they wouldn't have said yes. And thirdly, they need your service, and so if you can stay top of mind for them, then it's probably you that they're going to choose to work with when they're ready to hire you. Whereas if when they're ready, you haven't been emailing them and you haven't been nurturing them, they're going to go with whoever comes to mind for them. So why not let that be you? How about Absolutely. You keep yourself at top of mind for them, because they'll be buying from someone,
I think that's one of the other benefits, as you're saying there, that you stay top of mind, and then when someone needs you, you're the person that they come to. And in our type of work, we have quite a short window of time to become that person, because pregnancy and the postpartum period is a finite period, whereas sometimes I know I've signed up for email lists that are, say, business related, and might be 2 or 3 years before I decide to buy something from that person.
Exactly.
But we need to be a little bit quicker off the mark sometimes.
Yeah, you don't have time to waste, because their pregnancy is progressing every week. There's a new thing happening in their body, so you may as well throw aside the imposter syndrome that will come up, throw aside whatever your fears are, and start emailing them, because they do need, they're hungry to hear the things that you have to say, and they're hungry to hear your perspective. So be brave and do it.
Things that people do worry about is about being annoying. Am I going to annoy people if I send too many emails, or if I send emails that are actually sales emails?
I understand that fear, because I think that many people have that fear. I mean, there may be a few people that don't, but they're the special ones. But like I said before, don't be afraid of being annoying, because first of all, you think more about yourself than any of them do. So every time that you do email them, it's most likely more of a, oh yeah, yes, what is, what are they saying? They're going to be happy to read your thing. And not only that, they may have missed your email last week. So it's fine to repeat something now. It's fine to repeat some amazing new information that you want to share with them. And it's fine to give them an offer. And in fact, if you've created a new service, for example, or a new part of something that you're offering, and you're promoting it, it's important to email multiple times about it, and to not think that, oh, I'll just, send one email because that's probably all that they will want to hear from me. If if I tell them once, I shouldn't have to tell them twice. But that's not true. People need many reminders. And because people run their own lives, right? They have 1,000 other things that they're thinking about every single day. And so every time that you email them, I guarantee that they will be like, oh, right. Like that's their thought is, oh, right, because they forgot about it since yesterday, and if the offer is expiring tonight, they will be grateful that, like, if they had any consideration, like, maybe I should get that, maybe I should, but then it's time to go pick up the kids from school, or the cat needs to be fed, like literally any little thing. That, they get up and get a cup of water to drink, and they come back to the computer and they forgot about it. So it's not that they don't want to buy your offer. It's they may have just forgotten for 5 minutes or for a day. So that's why it's important to not consider your offer annoying, because you are serving people, you're helping people, you have something to offer that they actually wanted, something that they actually asked for. Again, be brave and send the emails, because people do want to purchase this from you. They just need some reminders from you.
And don't we all? Because I know I'm forever forgetting things that I was supposed to do. I forgot to renew that thing, or I forgot to renew that thing. And then you get the notice again. You say, oh, whoops, I better do that now.
Exactly. We all forget things so often. So it's part of being gracious with them, actually, and just assuming that, hey, I don't expect you to remember everything. So here's just a friendly reminder that, this promo is expiring, tomorrow. Tomorrow at midnight, you've got X number of hours left or whatever, and that's a kindness. That's, you're being helpful. People won't be annoyed. And also, if they don't want to hear about your offer, that's on them. And if they don't want to hear from it, they'll unsubscribe, and that's fine. And then you've released that space for someone else who does need your offer. So it's okay. Send the email.
And that's it. People can make their choices, and they can not open the email. They can open it and read it, or if they want to unsubscribe, it's not a big deal. That's just a choice.
Yeah, and you've been nurturing them. So
so you have the right to kind of now tell them what you have to offer for paid, for a fee. We've kind of talked through it in general terms there, but could you explain for people who might not have picked it up, like what a freebie funnel means, so that those kind of different steps. Yeah,
for sure. So a freebie funnel, so let me just show you in your mind, show you the steps. So a funnel, we call it a funnel because of acts like this open-mouthed funnel. For example, if you're canning some jam or something, and you're putting fruits into a jar. So you toss the fruit into the top of the funnel where it's wide and broad, and it catches all the fruit, and they fall down into the place where you've meant for the fruit to go. So that's what a funnel is. So at the top of the funnel is where you are, let's say you're posting on social media and you're spreading yourself out there so that people will hear about you. It's, visibility. And as you're speaking out there on social media or on podcasts or on blogs or all those different channels, you're also sharing with them a link to your freebie. And that freebie is that free resource we talked about. And the people out there where you're spreading yourself, there will be some people that will perk up their ears and say, ooh, that sounds interesting. I need that. That's exactly what I've been looking for. So then they click your link that you give them. They put in their name and their email address, because as they see your landing page that you created for this freebie, they're like, yes, that's exactly the question I had last night. I was wondering what I should pack in my hospital bag. I'm trying to pack it and I feel like I'm missing something. So yes, I want to sign up for this. This solves my need. So they sign up for it on the landing page. And then you, on the back end, you've set up your email marketing platform. And you, as people sign up for the freebie, your platform is collecting their email addresses, and you've automated some emails to go out to them so that as soon as they sign up with their email address, your system now sends them an automatic welcome email, as well as the free resource that you've promised them. So we've got visibility at the top, and then we have your free resource. we have the landing page where they can sign up for that free resource. After the landing page comes the email that automatically gets sent out to them with that free resource that they've signed up for. And then after that comes this whole phase of nurture emails. And that's the whole purpose for this whole thing, is now we're nurturing your relationship with them so that when they're ready to make the move and make the purchase, you're going to be the one that comes top of mind. And you now send out a sales email. And that's kind of like the fulfillment of the freebie funnel journey. Is at the end of the day, what you want to do is send out a sales offer and promote your service to them, and they become a buyer, whether that is the next day or whether that's next month or 9 months from now. But at some point, they may very well decide to purchase from you.
People are more likely to buy from emails, I believe, than they are from social media, say, for example.
Yeah. I've heard that it takes, the number changes, but I've heard 7 points of contact. So yes, you'll still be posting on social media most likely. You may still be being a guest on a podcast. You may still be blogging and all the things. Maybe running a YouTube channel. Those are all different points of contact. And every post that they see on social media, each post and each reel and each story, each of those are a point of contact. And your email is the big point of contact. So like now they've seen you everywhere and they're following you and they're reading your emails every week, and then you send that sales email, and then that's when they decide, yes, like I trust this person and I like this person, I'm buying from them.
So in that nurturing phase, like how frequently should people be emailing, and what do they write?
Good question. So the first email should go out immediately, of course. When they subscribe, there will be the first email that sends them the free resource. Now, I recommend that 24 hours later is when the next automated email should go out, just because it's fresh on their mind. So you can kind of, you want to keep nurturing it close up, like don't now wait a whole week for your next one to go out because they'll forget who you are. So send another email 24 hours out, and maybe that's where you talk a little bit more about your business or a common problem they may be experiencing, or something that just draws them in and helps them to get to know you a little bit better. And then your next email may be another 24 hours out, or maybe you want to extend that to maybe 3 days. I do either one. Sometimes I'll do 2 emails that are 1 day in a row each. Sometimes I'll put maybe 2 days in between. And the next one I'll put 5 days in between, and then I'll put 7 days in between, and then they're at like the weekly interval. That's kind of what I've figured out felt like a nice cadence, kind of. And as far as what to write in the emails, like what you want to do is, so your first few emails is probably a good idea to kind of focus on the free resource you sent them. Just make sure that they, know all about, so let's say packing for the hospital. They know all about, what it's going to be like when they arrive at the hospital, information that relates to your freebie, and also maybe sort of teaches them how to use the free resource you've sent them. So you can explain like, okay, so when you get this list, so what you're going to do is you're going to, whatever, XYZ, go through the list and figure out what you've got and what you still need to buy or whatever, right? Like just some instructions like that. And then over time, you're also adding information about yourself. And so that they can get to know you, the person that they may choose to hire. They'll want to know about you. You would even want to, in one of the emails, I would include a photograph of yourself so that they, see who you are. Maybe a picture of you and your pet, or you and your family, or you and your kids, or something, just to personalize it. In one of the emails, rather than talking as much about you yourself, you could talk about your company or your business as a whole, maybe the types of services that you offer, and kind of progressively you're like just guiding them on this journey of where they're first getting to know the freebie, then they get to know you, they get to know your business, then they get to know, like you could start talking about the bigger topics that are on their mind, right? Like now, like let's talk about not just, the hospital arrival moment, but let's talk about other concerns that they may have that will end up targeting, specific struggles and specific desires that they have, and they come to trust you that way because like, wow, this person knows like everything that I've been like thinking lately, everything that's been keeping me up at night, they're like tackling each of those concerns one by one. So they're hungry to learn from you, and that's how you build trust and relationship with them. And that's called nurturing.
It's about kind of helping them get to know you a bit more, helping them get to know your business a bit more, and then helping them with the things that are that you know they're popping into their head because you understand the type of client that you're working with.
Exactly. And when you do that, it only makes sense that after 10 weeks of nurturing them, let's say, maybe even sooner, but like after a number of weeks of you nurturing them like that, they will want to know what's the next step. So like how do we make the next move? You know, can we go on a date? You know, like let's make action on the next step, and that is you giving them an offer. For something, and it can be a small offer. It doesn't even have to be your main big offer. It could be something small that you offer that allows them to kind of test out your personality and your service and your knowledge or something like that.
So that gives us...
It just kind of guides them on that journey.
This is a really good picture of kind of how we go from that big top of funnel, lots of people getting visibility, and then bringing people in closer and closer and closer to us. And those amount of people might get smaller and smaller, you know, and that's okay because we don't want to date everybody.
Exactly. Your living room couches can only hold so many people. So you want high quality people in there.
Definitely. And for anyone who's a bit anxious about the tech side of it and about, you know, an email marketing platform, what is that? A landing page, you know, what can we do to make that a little bit easier?
A little bit easier. Well, it helps to choose a platform that is meant for ease of use. And I have tried many different platforms because I love tech and I like experimenting. But I have found that MailerLite specifically is the one that I've chosen to work with the most. I'm not like, I don't care if people choose a different one. It's fine. However, I will say that MailerLite is very user-friendly. I've found it to be a very clean, airy interface. It's just much more intuitive than the other ones that I've found. And it's free to start and very cheap once you do have to upgrade. And they have the way that it's set up is very intuitive and step-by-step, so it makes it much simpler for beginners. So creating their landing page will be easy in there. Setting up the automations will be easy in there. So that's the platform that I recommend going with. And then, of course, Canva is the platform that I would recommend for creating your actual resource. If it is something like a PDF guide or something, a checklist of some sort, Canva is what I would recommend for that.
I think it's handy, as you said, for people to know that the platforms can be easy to use, and MailerLite is definitely one I've heard come up again and again as ease of use, where it teaches you how to do it as you go along nearly, you know, so it helps people figure it out as they go along, and then it's okay to experiment and to learn as you go along as well. Yeah,
and it helps a lot too if you have if you know someone, or if you have a mentor, or if you've got a business coach or anything that teaches a specific platform or uses a specific platform, or even a business friend that you have using the same one as what someone else does, so that you know that you have someone to turn to when you're not sure, oh, where's the orange button they said I should click? Somewhere up there, I'm not finding it. And it helps to know someone that you can ask questions. Having someone with answers always helps a lot.
Yes, with everything. Just being
able
everything,
to say, everything in life.
Do you know what I'm doing here? I can't figure it out.
Exactly.
That can be really important. So, Crystal, is there anything else that you feel people need to know if they're thinking about starting with email marketing? And then anything else, if you know, where can people find you, or any of the things that you have to offer or that you help people with? Yeah, for sure. Well, so if you don't have someone to ask all of your questions to, that is something that I do offer. I do help people that are starting out with their online marketing. If they're unsure, if they're feeling not tech savvy, and the tech and design stuff kind of overwhelms you, that is something that I do provide support for, and I have a 1-year program for that, providing just a very safe space for people to learn, because it's very easy to feel left behind, and it's easy to feel like people don't want to ask, they don't want to feel silly asking questions.
especially when the thing is, they're really good at what they do. They're experts, fully trained, professionals at what they're doing, but they don't know how to set up their, email marketing platform. It feels weird to not be good at this thing when they're really good at what they actually do, though. So I provide a safe space for people like that in my program, or my year of tech and design confidence. So that is something that I do help people with. And as far as how people can find me, in all the free ways, I do have places. So my website is my name, crystalbentel.com, and you'll find a free resource on there right in the top announcement banner at the top. There will be a free resource there. That one is a list. Right now, I swap it out occasionally, which I recommend everyone does that once in a while too. But currently, the one I've got is a self-care menu for neurodivergent business owners. It's got a list of 20 ideas for how to prevent burnout. And then, of course, there's Instagram. I'm Your Tech Fairy on Instagram, and I'm Your Tech Fairy on Facebook, as well as Your Tech Fairy in Facebook groups. So I have a Facebook group that is free for anybody to join if they feel non-tech savvy, and they want a place to be able to ask some questions and be with other people who are starting out their online marketing journey. So that is just facebook.com/groups/YourTechFairy.
Yeah. Having all those resources is so helpful, and I will put them in the show notes, so the links are there. So if anyone wants to join the group or find your website, the information is there for you. So thank you so much again, Crystal. It has been absolutely lovely talking to you. And before we started recording, I was having some technical difficulties, and you did have the most patience with me. So thank you for that. And for all of our listeners, thank you so much for joining us for this episode. And we will be back next week, and I will talk to you all soon. If you enjoyed or benefited from today's podcast, please leave a review on your favourite listening platform. And if you need help in standing out as a birth or postpartum worker, download our free guide, 10 Steps to Stand Out and Get More Bookings. The link is in the show notes. Don't forget to download your totally free copy of the Birth Workers Business Playbook, now available for a limited time only. So check out the show notes to get your link and get your copy.